welcome back to my second channel. I haven't posted on here in 4 years, but I've returned. Part of my problem was that I couldn't think of anything casual to talk about. It's kind of hard for me to not talk for 2 hours straight. But there's something going on in Hollywood that a lot of people are talking about, and it's got my name written all over it. As many of you know, Britney Spears put out her memoir titled The Woman in Me. Smash hit, and John M. Chu of Crazy Rich Asians and more recently Wicked fame has announced that he will be directing the biopic. So it's left a lot of people wondering, who on earth could play Britney Spears? And a lot of people have a lot of opinions. And rumors have been swirling. Everyone's talking about who this person's auditioning, this person's auditioning, this person's apparently in the lead to get the role. This person's been clearly making it known that she wants the role. So, today, I am going to take all of the rumored people who have been auditioning for this role, and I'm going to rank them. Now, this is not a ranking of this person, but more so a ranking of the suggestion of them playing Britney Spears. Some of the people are rumored to have been trying to get this role. Others are from articles where people are like, this is who we think should play Britney Spears. And before we get into it, I want to talk about what my requirements as the casting director are for someone playing Britney Spears. Number 1, I don't think that this person needs to be a clone of Britney Spears. I think that the New Edition story got people like a little too hyped on the idea of people looking just like the person, singing just like them, and dancing just like them, and now they're like, we can do that for every movie, come on guys. And I think it's led to a lot of people being more concerned about the looks of the person rather than the acting ability of the person. Okay? Because like there's some people who it's like just an Instagram model or like a person that like does stuff on TikTok. People are like, you are the person who should play Britney. And it's like, I've never seen this person even read a line. What if they're like the worst actor ever? And you're like, you should be in a movie because you look like the character. So I don't think that's too important. Obviously, I think that they should favor her, and I don't think they should have like, you know, like if they've got like a specific standout feature that would like, obviously Britney Spears doesn't have that. Like if they've got like a big mole, it's like, you know, obviously that's not Britney Spears. But I don't think that they need to look just like her, okay? Number 2 that's important is that they should be able to dance. You could have a dancing double, but it's like, it's kind of Britney's thing. They should be able to dance and move their body. And just as important as being a dancer is an actor. They should be able to act, and they should be able to convincingly recreate Britney's mannerisms, and more importantly, her accent. I don't want to see some LA actress out here with the craziest country accent you've ever seen. You're like, or worse, no accent at all. I don't want to see that, okay? I don't want to see it. I need a studied actor. I need someone to go full Austin Butler with this role, okay? Turn into Britney Spears for 2 years. Number 4, I can take or leave singing. Honestly, the person doesn't have to be a great singer for me, because they could just dub it. I know that, you know, once again, I'm referencing the New Edition story. They sang. However, if we find someone who can fulfill all these other requirements, but they're not necessarily a great singer, or they don't sound like Britney when they sing, they can't imitate her voice, just put Britney's vocals in there. Just mix it well enough. So it sounds real, okay? And then last but not least, I think that this person should be able to convincingly play a range of ages. For example, the Priscilla movie did a really good job of this. They had the same actress playing Priscilla Presley from like 14 till 50. And it worked. I wasn't sitting there being like, she's way too young. She's way too old. She doesn't look the right. Like, I was sitting there and it felt right. Because you could try to cast different ages of Britney. Like, I mean, I don't know anything about this movie literally at all, but I know It Ends With Us, it's called. They did pretty good casting with like a teenager and an adult. Like, I thought that was pretty good casting for a range of ages. So you could do that too, but I'd prefer it to just be one person. Okay, now let's rank. So first, let's go over my ranking categories. At the top, we've got okay, maybe, because honestly, I'm not crazy about any of the people that have been rumored to be playing her. I think, as most people I think it should be like a complete unknown playing her. Like Nikki Blonsky style, they should find a person who was born to play this role. And this role only maybe. So at the very top, it's my, okay, maybe. Second, we have, I could possibly be convinced if I was in a good mood. Then we have, I don't think so. Then, you should be locked away. And again, this is not about the actress. I think the people who suggested that this person play this role should be locked away. And then I have, you're not even being serious. Because there's some that I'm like, you're not even being serious. Okay, let's jump right in. Possibly the most famous one on this list. Everyone's been talking about this. She dyed her hair blonde, and now everyone's like, ooh, she's gonna try to play Britney Spears. I think this is probably who most people are rooting for. Well, one of two. And that's Millie Bobby Brown. She can do a good American accent. She does that on Stranger Things. I think I haven't really watched it since season 1. The blonde hair. I will admit, when she first did the blonde hair, I was like, wait, I'm kind of saying it. But I don't want to kill her shine. She's a brilliant young actress. But I don't know if I could be convinced of her being Britney Spears. I don't know about the country accent. I don't know about the bubbly silliness of Britney Spears. I just don't know. I think maybe I could be convinced if I'm in a good mood and she shows me what she's working with, but I think mostly I don't think so. But maybe, but I don't think so, but maybe. Hold on, let me pray on it. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it right there. I think maybe I could be convinced. We'll see. We'll see when she auditions for me and John M. Chu. Okay, and I'm going to jump a little bit down the list. I'm not going to go in the order that I have them sitting here in. A lot of people have talked about how she should play Britney Spears. People even go as far as to compare her to Britney Spears in her regular career, and that is Tate McRae. Now, if we refer back to my list of requirements, doesn't have to be a clone. I mean, great, because she looks absolutely nothing like Britney Spears. Dancer, she's got that. Actor, I have no clue, but I'm pretty sure no. 4, can imitate Britney's mannerisms and accent. I'm not sure, but I'm also pretty sure no. Take or leave singing. And then convincing age range. Maybe. I think this is one where it's like, I think she looks too much not like Britney Spears for me to even consider this as a real thing. I think people just think this because she sings like in a baby voice, kind of. Not the same baby voice that Britney did. And then she dances, and I guess like she's kind of more so known for her dancing than like, you know, she's not Whitney Houston. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Grace Van Dien. I'm not particularly too familiar with her work. I watched a clip of all of these people acting before doing this video, so I'm a little familiar with her range. She's in Stranger Things. However, I don't think so. I don't remember what list she was on. I think she was on a couple different lists. And at some point, people are making these lists. I think they're just naming every blonde actress that they can think of. Well, actually, I'm looking at this picture now, and like I'm kind of saying it a little bit. But I don't know. She does like. See, and here I go. I'm breaking my own rules because I did say that I don't think that they should look like a clone. But I also do kind of think that she maybe is too distinctively not looking like Britney Spears, similar to a Tate McRae. And there's a few people in this list that I feel that way about. Grace Van Dien? I don't think so. Okay. This is one that I saw a few different times. Even I saw this on Reddit threads too, where it was like regular people just suggesting people who should play. And that is Elle Fanning. Love Elle Fanning, love her work. Incredible. I actually included a photo where she's dressed as Britney Spears. I tried to find a picture that's the most Britney Spears-like for everyone. You know, I want to give everyone a chance. But this one, I'm just going to go right ahead and say I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's a thing about, like, her, Grace Van Dien, probably several other people in this list. I don't think that they would even probably want this role. I think that if their agent was like, you should audition for this, I think they'd be like, no, I don't think I should. So, again, no shade to the actresses. I just don't think so, person who made this list. I think it was an IMDb list that she was on, or maybe it was the people, I don't remember. But to the person who made the list, I don't think so. Next, this is one that's been on a lot of lists, and it's Florence Pugh. Great actress. she does have her own specific mannerisms in acting that I think, like, you know, Britney Spears is like at her lowest point, she's gonna make the Florence Pugh frown face. I don't know about that one. I think we'd have to you'd have to polish off a few things for her. I don't know. And maybe I'm biased because of the things that I've seen her in. She has like a kind of a more serious air to her than Britney Spears does, you know? And this is another one where I don't think she would even audition for it. I'm trying to put everyone in the I don't think so category. You know, I'm realizing now, I don't know if I have anyone that should be in the you should be locked away category. I guess we'll see. Okay. Now this is another one that a lot of people have talked about, and that's Addison Rae. I think this is mostly because she's from Louisiana. She's got a similar, like, bubbly country girl kind of vibe. And she's, like, even been specifically asked about it in interviews. I know that she was like, I don't think anyone should play Britney Spears because she's such an icon. I think she's a great dancer. I don't know about the acting. I don't know if she's ever acted before. But I think the bubbly country girl thing might be kind of, like, the only reason people are saying. I mean, obviously because she's a dancer and because she has blonde hair. You know who I think she should play? She should be in the Jessica Simpson biopic. I've been trying to wake this up for a very long time. People have been comparing her to Britney Spears for years. And I have always said she looks far more like Jessica Simpson. She reminds me of Jessica Simpson all the time. She's got that big smile. That's literally Jessica Simpson's cousin. So I'm going to go, I don't think so, because that's Jessica Simpson. Maybe if Jessica Simpson's in the movie Aston Rich Blair. Now that I'm on board for. This next one was in one of those who we think should play Britney Spears lists. And it's Sophie Turner. You're not even being serious. You're not even being serious. Like, you're not being serious. What do you mean? Sophie Turner? Like, in what way? Let's refer back to the list. Doesn't have to be a clone. I mean, great, because she looks nothing like her. Dancer? Actor? Well, pretty much the only thing. Who can imitate Britney's mannerisms accent? I'm not going to say she can't. I don't know. Maybe she could, but I don't know. Take or leave singing? Probably good. I don't know that she sings. And convincing age range? No shade, but no. That's an adult woman. They Googled blonde actresses, and they put her in the list. This is someone that I've seen suggested a lot of times, and that's Lily Rose Depp. I think that people only suggest her because she was in that show that was, like, originally inspired by Britney Spears, but then was, like, overtaken by Sam Levinson and The Weeknd and turned into a completely different show. No. Just no. And maybe you should be locked away. How about I'm gonna change this. See? Normalize changing your mind after being presented with new information. I'm gonna go just no. And I'm gonna add Lily Rose Depp to that category. No. Next we have one that I don't have much to say about. Margot Robbie. No. Oh, and here's another one I don't have much to say about. Margaret Qualley. And you aren't even being serious. You just weren't even being serious. I'm going to put whatever article that came from, whoever wrote it, I'm going to put their name too, put them on blast. You weren't even being serious. I mean, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You were just like popular actresses. Like, what's the point of even making the list if you're just going to put a bunch of random people on it? Who should play Britney Spears? Finn Wolfhard. Like, what are you talking about? Now we're down to a centralized list of, I think probably, other than Addison Rae, Millie Bobby Brown, the most commonly suggested people to play Britney Spears. So, we've got, first up, Sydney Sweeney. Now, I will say it, I'll say it, and I might change my mind later down the road. Don't hold me to this, my opinions change. I'm not a huge fan of Sydney Sweeney. Not crazy about her acting abilities. I think that there are actually a few actors in Euphoria that I was a bit like, and she's one of them. Gorgeous girl. Not seeing it for her in my Britney Spears biopic that I'm casting. So I'm just gonna go no. Next we have Dove Cameron. This is another one. I'm not too familiar with her work. Obviously she was on Disney Channel. I don't know if that is probably the most representative of her acting abilities because it's the Disney Channel. Looks-wise, singing-wise, dancing-wise, I think mostly no. for me. I don't know if I could even really put my finger on what exactly it is. But no. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it there. No. Okay. Another Disney girl, Sabrina Carpenter. Now, you know what movie Sabrina Carpenter should have been in? Mean Girls the Musical. If Sabrina Carpenter, let's travel to an alternative universe. No, an alternative universe. Let's travel to an alternate universe in which Sabrina Carpenter is cast in this Britney Spears movie. I would be so angry that she would clear her schedule for that and not for the Mean Girls musical. That would make me very angry. I'm not seeing this one either. This is another one. I mean, I've seen a little bit of her acting. She was in that movie, the one where she was like racist, and then she was in that god awful Adventures in Babysitting, and then the terrible Girl Meets World. I mean, I don't know. I think she was. I think she hasn't really been dealt the best type of acting cards, I guess.
They want to see if I have autism. You don't.
And I also don't think she would even audition for this role. I'm just gonna go, no. Nah. Okay, final two. No one has made it into my okay maybe list yet. So let's see if one of these can. Madeline Klein. She's in Outer Banks. Not in my my Netflix watch history. Not really tuning into that one personally. Obviously I watched a few clips. And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. But I'm not convinced. I don't think so. I don't think so. And then last but not least, we have Olivia Holt. And this is one that, when I originally saw the lists, I was like, guys. Because, okay, she does have this thing that I've coined Australia face, where some people just are phenotypically Australian, and she's one of them. And she's a person where, like, if I see an image of her, I'm like, that's an Australian person. Like, Ali Simpson and Cody Simpson, and I could probably think of a few more, but unimportant. However, after all of that, I did end up watching the show Cruel Summer, and I finally saw it. I was like, oh, wait, I'm seeing some Britney-ish features here. I could maybe be convinced. So I think this might be our one and only okay maybe. Now, what I will say, the only time I've ever seen someone act in a way that reminded me of Britney Spears, it was in this movie called either Supporting the Girls or Support the Girls, something like that. It starred Regina Hall, and she's managing like an in-universe Twin Peaks, like a mountain lodge themed restaurant, and Haley Lou Richardson plays this like kind of country sweet girl. In that movie, the entire time I'm watching it, I was like, that she's basically playing Britney Spears.
Oh, and just kind of like,
let me just say,
I think I freaked her out and she's getting back in her car.
So now I don't think that she's probably got the dancing chops or what have you. But I think that she should be brought in to coach whoever's in this movie, because she had that down. I really do think she had that down. She had the accent, she had the mannerisms, like the bubbliness, the cutesiness. She had it all there, and she wasn't even trying to be Britney Spears. Who should play Britney Spears then? I don't know. Do I look like John M. Chu to you? Oh yeah, speaking of John M. Chu, I don't know how I could forget to mention this, but he has confirmed that all of the rumors were false, and they're not even in the casting stage for the movie yet. So this is my final ranking. I don't know if anyone will be surprised to know that I didn't like anyone that was suggested. I don't think most people did. I think people are mostly positive about Millie Bobby Brown and Olivia Holt, which I, as you can see, sort of agree with, and I could be convinced. I would need to see the dancing and the accent and the mannerisms. And I am a little bit less convinced about Millie Bobby Brown than Olivia Holt. This is pretty perfect. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know anyone else you think should play Britney Spears. I'll probably not agree. And let me know if you are an aspiring actress that looks and sounds like Britney Spears and can dance, because maybe I'll cast you. I forget, I'm the casting director. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to post more on here. I realized that I said that last time, but I have some ideas. I'm gonna get to it. So yeah, hope you liked this one. It was good to see you again, and I'll try not to disappear again.